Good morning, children. Welcome to the part 2 of cash flow statement. In the previous video, we had studied that there are three activities in case of cash flow statement as per accounting standard 3: operating activities, investing activities, and financing activity. So here we are doing the classification of business activities as per accounting standard 3, showing cash inflows and cash outflow. So here we are basically segregating the various cash receipts and cash payments into cash inflows and cash outflows, which we have already done while doing the previous part, but it is just a revision. So in case of operating activities, the cash inflows can be cash sales, and we know when we talk about sales means related to goods and services. Then cash received from royalty, fees, commission, cash received from debtors or trade receivables. And various cash outflows under operating activities are cash purchases, cash paid to creditors, trade payables, payment of operating expenses like wages, salary, office and selling expenses, etc., and payment of income tax. So these are the cash inflows and cash outflows under operating activities. Under investing activities, cash inflows includes proceeds from sale of fixed assets, proceeds from sale of non-current investment, that is long-term investment, interest received on debentures, dividend received on shares. And cash outflows includes purchase of fixed assets, purchase of non-current investment. Then in case of financing activities, cash inflows includes proceeds from issue of shares in cash, proceeds from issue of debentures in cash, long-term loans raised or short-term loans raised, then increase in balance of bank overdraft or cash credit. And cash outflows include payment for buyback of equity shares, payment of redemption of preference shares, payment for redemption of debentures. Redemption means paying it off, repayment of short-term or long-term loans, payment of interim dividend and previous year's proposed dividend, payment of interest on long-term and short-term loans, payment of interest on bank overdraft, cash credit, payment of preliminary expenses including the share issue expenses, decrease in balance of bank overdraft or cash credit. So these are various cash inflows and outflows under financing activities. Now let us see the format of cash flow statement. A cash flow statement may be prepared either by direct method or indirect method. Cash flow statement by direct method is not there in your syllabus. Indirect method is very much there, and therefore we will study the format under indirect method. So since the format is quite a large one, that's why I have divided into two slides. XYZ Limited, basically this has to be the name of the company. Cash flow statement for the year ended. The date has to be mentioned, and very important, if you do not write the date, your marks will be deducted. For the year ended 31st March 2018, 17, whatever it is given in the question. Indirect method as per accounting standard 3 revised. As you can see, there are three columns. The first column is the particulars, second is the amount column, and third is the amount column, in which you will show the net amount of different activities. So the A part is cash flow from operating activities. As we have already discussed in the previous video that there are three activities: operating, investing and financing. And while preparing cash flow statement, all the three activities have to be prepared in the same sequence. So first of all, you will prepare the operating activity. So A part is cash flow from operating activities, and we will start with net profit before tax. If the question has specifically given you the net profit before tax, you will simply put the value, but if it is not given, then we have to calculate it. And remember one thing, children, whatever the calculation of net profit before tax is done, the calculation you will not show inside the cash flow statement. Only the net amount of net profit before tax will be shown in the cash flow statement, and all the working related to it will be shown as a working note, and it will not be a part of cash flow statement. If you do it, you will lose your marks. So as you can see, the amount given in the question will be written in the inner column, then whatever amount is the net one, that will be shown in the second column, and the last column is for the net amount of different activities. So after writing net profit before tax, we will do the adjustment for non-cash and non-operating items. So what we have to do is we have to add back all the non-cash or non-operating expenses or losses, and we have to deduct all the non-operating income. So we have to add back depreciation because it is not in cash. Then preliminary expenses or discount on issue of debentures written off, because these are expenses which is to be shown in financing activity. These are non-operating. So because we have deducted it earlier in the profit, now it has to be added back. Then we will add back goodwill, patent and trademark amortized, that means written off. Then we will add back interest paid on short term and long term borrowings, because the interest paid is a part of investing activity and not operating activity. Basically interest paid is a part of financing activity and not operating activity. Then interest paid on a bank overdraft and cash credit is also to be added back, because again it is a part of financing activity. So if it is deducted, now it has to be added back. And the last one is loss on sale of fixed assets. Now it is a loss, it is a non-cash and non-operating item. Therefore, because it was deducted, we know that while preparing statement of PL, we deduct such losses and expenses. And for cash flow statement, all these have to be added back. Then we will deduct all the non-operating income which is added. For example, interest income or interest received or dividend received or rent received, all these are a part of investing activity. So it has to be deducted from here and it will be added in the investing activities. Then profit on sale of fixed asset, again it is a non-operating profit, it will not be shown here. So if it is added while preparing the statement of PL, it will be deducted. So after adjusting the non-cash and non-operating item, we will get the operating profit before working capital changes, which will be shown. The net amount of this will be shown on the outer column now, as you can see, and the amounts which are, or the dots here which are in brackets, it shows that these amount has to be deducted, as we have already discussed in previous chapters. Then in operating profit before working capital changes, working capital basically relates to your current asset and current liability. So when you get operating profit before working capital changes, after adjusting the non-cash and non-operating items, you will add any decrease in current asset and any increase in current liability, and you will deduct any increase in current asset and any decrease in current liability. So students, if you are having any problem in learning or in remembering whether the current asset decrease is to be added or deducted, whether current liability increase is to be added or deducted, and so on. So in that case, the trick behind is you already have prepared the revaluation account in case of partnership. So it is just a trick, no logic behind, just a trick that debit side of revaluation account needs to be added and credit side of revaluation account needs to be deducted over here. But the only difference you have to remember now, where there is no point, is that here the valuation account you showed the decrease in all the assets, but here you will be showing the decrease in current asset only. So it is just a trick to make you remember. Now it depends upon you, how do you do it. So when you calculate operating profit before working capital changes after adjusting the non-cash and non-operating items, again I am repeating, you will get operating profit before working capital changes, and you will add any decrease in current asset and any increase in current liabilities, and you will deduct any increase in current asset and any decrease in current liability. And after this addition and deduction to operating profit before working capital changes, you will get cash generated from operations, which will be shown on the outer column. And now finally, as we have discussed, income tax paid is also deducted in operating activity. Finally, at the end, you will deduct income tax paid during the year or net of income tax refund received. This will be deducted, and therefore it is put in brackets. And after deducting this, now you will get the net cash from or used in operating activity, which will be shown in the last outer column amount. Now it can be net cash from, or it can be net cash used in operating activity. If the balance is positive, then it will be net cash from operating activity. But if the balance is coming in negative, minus, in minus if it is coming, then you will write net cash used in operating activity. So this is the format for operating activities. In your boards, in your question papers, sometimes or many a times the question comes only for operating activities also. So you need to prepare, and this is the format which needs to be followed step by step. Now the B point is the cash flow from investing activities. So all the inflows will be added and all the outflows from investing activities will be deducted. So all the inflows which will be added can be proceeds or receipt from sale of tangible fixed asset, receipt from sale of intangible fixed assets like goodwill, receipt from sale of non-current investment, interest and dividend received, rent received. So these are cash inflows to be shown under investing activities. And then whatever the cash outflows under investing activities are there, you will show it in brackets because these will be outflows and these will be deducted. For example, purchase of tangible fixed assets, purchase of intangible fixed assets like goodwill, purchase of non-current investment, and after adding all the inflows under investing activity and deducting all the outflows under investing activities, you will get again net cash from or used in investing activity. The net amount you will show in the outer column. And again the same logic, if it is coming to a positive balance, it will be net cash from investing activity, and if it is coming in negative, then it will be net cash used in investing activity. Then the C part, cash flows from financing activity. So whatever cash inflows of financing activities are there, which we have already discussed, that will be added, and all the cash outflows under financing activities will be deducted. So cash inflows can be under financing activities can be proceeds or receipt from issue of shares and debentures, receipt from other long-term borrowings, maybe bank loan or etc. Then proceeds from short-term borrowings, then increase in balance of bank overdraft or cash credit. If there is an increase, that means you are borrowing more, so again it will be a cash inflow. Now these inflows will be added and you will deduct all the cash outflows, such as decrease in the balance of bank overdraft or cash credit. If there is a decrease, that means you have repaid it, so there is a cash outflow. Then payment of interim dividend, payment of proposed dividend of previous year, interest paid on short term and long term borrowings, interest paid on bank overdraft and cash credit, then repayment of loan whether it is short term or long term, then redemption of debentures, etc. So after adding all the cash inflows under financing activity and deducting all the cash flow outflow under financing activity, the net amount will be net cash from or used in financing activities. That will be shown in the outermost column, and the logic will be the same. If it is coming in positive, you will show net cash from financing activity, and if it is coming in negative, you will show net cash used in financing activity. So you have calculated the net cash from or used in different activities separately. Now what you will do is, after doing this, you will calculate net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents, and for this you will add A, that is cash flow from or used in operating activity, B, cash flow from or used in investing activity, and C, cash from or used in financing activity. So whatever you will just total all the three balances, and it will show you net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalent. If after adding these three activities, if the amount is coming positive, it will be net increase in cash and cash equivalent. If it is coming in negative, then it will be net decrease in cash and cash equivalent. So to this addition, you will add the cash and cash equivalent in the beginning of the year. So whatever cash and cash equivalent, that means cash in hand, cash at bank, checks and drafts on hand, marketable securities, commercial papers, treasury bills, etc. So the opening balances, that is the balance of these cash and cash equivalents at the beginning of the accounting year, will be added to the net increase or decrease, that is the summation of A, B and C activities, and at the end, ultimately what you will get will be the cash and cash equivalent at the end of the year, that is the closing balance. So this you will get by the addition, and this should be the same which is showing the closing balance of the balance sheet. So basically it is a method of cross checking whether your working is correct or not. So this is the entire format of cash flow statement. I hope it is clear to you, children. Now the note number 1, how you have to calculate the net profit before tax. We have already discussed that while calculating net before tax, whatever is to be the working is to be done, that is to be done separately as a working note like this. It will not be a part of the cash flow statement. In the cash flow statement, you will just show the net amount of net profit before tax so generated. If you show it inside the cash flow statement, your marks will be deducted. It has to be shown separately. So how the calculation of net profit before tax is to be done? Let us see. First of all, you will show the net profit of the current year after appropriations, means after all the expenses, all the adjustments. How you will get it? You will just what you will do in this case is you will just you will just find out the difference of the current year and the last year balances. Then to that you will add add back, basically you will add back transfer to reserves, all the reserves, whether the amount is transferred to general reserve or reserve fund or anything, anywhere. So whatever amount of statement of profit and loss is transferred to any kind of reserve, that transfer will be added back. Then proposed dividend of the previous year will be added back. Now proposed dividend means what the dividend the members or the owners have proposed that they will be paying to the shareholders. This is just a proposal. So whatever they have proposed in the previous year, that will be assumed that it has been paid in the current year. So it will be added back to the profit because it is not an operating activity, it is a part of financing activity. So therefore any proposed dividend of the previous year, not the current year. What is to be done with the current year, that we will discuss later on. So any proposed dividend of the previous year will be added back to the net profit of the current year, or the balancing figure of basically the difference of 2 years of profit. Then interim dividend paid during the year, again it is a part of financing activity, so if it is deducted it will be added back. Then provision for tax made during the current year will be added back because it is made for the next year, minus any refund of tax, and then you will get the net profit before tax. So what is the net value, that will be shown the starting value as the starting value under operating activities in case of cash flow from operating activities in case of cash flow statement. So just for the revision sake, for calculating net profit before tax, you will start with the differences in the statement of PL of 2 consecutive balance sheet or the 2 consecutive years, and to that you will add back transfer to any kind of reserve out of statement of PL. You will add back proposed dividend of the previous year. You will add back interim dividend paid during the year, and also you will add back the provision for tax made during the current year. Very important point, current one you will add, because what provision you have made in the previous year, that you will be paying it, and that will be deducted in the operating activities. So that has not got nothing to do with the profit before tax, and then you will deduct refund of tax. So there are 4 items which will be added back to the profit, and 1 item that will be deducted, and ultimately you will get net profit before tax. So this will be the starting point. And if at all these information are not given in the question, then directly you can start with the difference balance of profit as the net profit before tax. Now note, amount in brackets denote negative items, that is amount that are to be deducted, that we already know. Then ISC Council's instruction. Point number 1. Basically these are the repetitive points, this we have already done, but just for the revision sake. Short-term investment and marketable securities are to be taken as components of cash and cash equivalent, that we know. B point, current investment will be considered as part of working capital changes, that also we have already studied. Third point, bank overdraft and cash credit will be considered as financing activities as they are short-term borrowings. Important note, cash flow statement only for non-financing companies is a part of syllabus. Cash flow statement for financing companies such as bank and mutual fund companies is excluded from your syllabus. Now this is the assignment. based on whatever we have discussed in this video. That so you have to answer the following questions in your register. Question number 1, you have to state any 3 cash inflows and cash outflows under operating activities. So cash inflows can be commission received, royalty received, then cash inflow from sales, then cash outflow can be fees paid, commission paid, then your purchase of goods, etc. Then state any 3 cash inflows and cash outflows under investing activities. So cash inflows under investing activities can be sale of fixed tangible asset, sale of fixed intangible asset, then your basically rent received. And cash outflows under investing activities can be loans and advances given to third parties, then purchase of fixed tangible assets, purchase of fixed intangible assets, etc. Then question number 3, state any 3 cash inflows and cash outflows under financing activity. So the 3 cash inflows under financing activities can be basically long-term borrowings, then your short-term borrowings, issue of shares, issue of debentures, etc. And cash outflows under financing activities can be proposed dividend of previous year paid, interim dividend paid, interest paid, then repayment of loan, etc. Then prepare a format of cash flow statement under indirect method as per AS3. So for this you can prepare the cash flow statement or the format of cash flow statement which we have discussed in this video, such as this one, where we have shown the entire format along with the column and everything. This is the second part and the final one. So this is the format of cash flow statement. So I hope the topic discussed in this video is clear to you children. The format of cash flow statement and the important points which I have told you in regarding the calculation of net profit before tax, and it has to be shown separately, not inside the cash flow statement. These are very, very important while solving the questions. So just go through the video once again, revise all that we have done here, and answer the whatever questions have been given to you in your register. Thank you children. Take care.